All right, level 3 equations are introducing where we've got 3 different steps. There's basically 2 different kinds that we're going to work on for level 3 equations. So the difference here compared to a 2-step equation is that you have a variables on both sides. So we have our x's or whatever variable on both sides. So the first thing we need to do is you want to collect the variable onto either the left or the right side. It does not matter which side. I tend to like my variables positive, so I try to move it so it's positive, right? So if I look at this 21x here to move it, since it's positive, it would have to be negative, and that would make this negative. Whereas if I move this 14x here, it's positive, I would add negative, and it would still be positive. So I'm going to choose to get the variable, in this case, on the left side. So I'm going to subtract 14x from both sides. 21x minus 14x is 7x. Still have the minus 5. Make sure you're keeping track of your signs. Negative 14x and negative 14x add out, so I'm just left with 9 there. Because we put our variable on the left, our constant, our one without the variable, has to go onto the right. So the opposite of subtracting 5 is to add 5. 7x equals, because negative 5 plus 5 add out, 14. Again, once you do the first movement, though, this is just like the 2-step ones that you've already passed. Number next to a variable with no sign in between means we're multiplying, so we're going to divide both sides by 7, and x is going to equal 2. So again, I subtracted 14x first to get x on the same side of the equation. Because I collected x's on the left side, the constant or just number needs to go on the right side. To finish isolating the variable, I divided by 7 to get 2 is my answer. Okay, the other type of equation for level 3 is with these parentheses. Okay, so negative 2 times the quantity 4x minus 3 equals 3x plus 9. So when you have a number outside a set of parentheses like this, we need to use something called the distributive property. The distributive property means that I'm going to take this number and I'm going to multiply it by everything inside the parentheses. So negative 2 times 4x, that's going to be negative 8x. You really got to know your integers here. Negative 2 times negative 3, that becomes plus 6 because we're multiplying. Okay, again, a minus and a negative sign are the same thing, so that's why it becomes positive 6 there. And then we keep the 3x plus 9. Okay, now we need to get our variables onto the same side of the equation. I like my variables positive, so I'm going to add 8x to both sides. That's going to subtract out, so 6 equals 11x plus 9. Since our variable's over on the right, we got to get our constant on the left. Negative 3 equals 11x. Divide both sides by 11. Okay, so when you're solving equations, it's okay if it ends up in a fraction answer. On 1 and 2 steps, I normally try to make them to come out to integers, so positive and negative whole numbers. Once we start getting up there, then we start practicing with fractions. So we multiplied the negative 2 times everything. Then we added 8x to both sides. That's where we got 11x. We subtracted 9, got negative 3, and divided by 11 to get negative 3/11. Okay. Third equation is 5x minus 4. Equals 8x plus 6. Okay, so again, we got to get a variable on the same side of the equation. So I'm going to get my variable this time on the right because that's going to make it positive. So I'm going to subtract 5x That's gone. Be careful. Lots of people drop this sign, but that 4 is negative, so that sign always goes with it that's in front of it. 8x minus 5x is 3x. 3x plus 6. Because we put our variable on the right, our constant needs to go on the left. So I'm adding 6. I'm going to add negative 6. Again, you can subtract 6, but this helps with my integers over here. It's a lot easier for me to see negative 4 plus negative 6 is negative 10. And then those 6's add out. A number next to a variable means we're multiplying. To undo multiplication, we divide by 3. X is going to equal either negative 10/3 or it could be negative 3 1/3. Number 4. 4x minus 12 equals 2x plus 50. Okay, let's get our variable on the same side. Again, you can do either. I just like my variables to be positive, so I'm going to subtract 2x. And I move my variables first all the time because at some point they may just add out and that's a whole different thing, but we'll get to that in one of the future levels. So just move your variable first. 4x minus 2x is 2x. Minus 12 equals 50. We're going to add 12 to both sides. And again, these second and third steps here I'm going through a little bit faster because you've already passed those levels, so that should be a little bit easier for you. Those add out. 50 plus 12 is 62. Once we get down here, now we're at the one-step part. Number next to a letter means we're multiplying, so we're going to divide. And x is going to equal 31. (5x minus 8). Nope, 5x, sorry, it's plus 8 equals 4x minus 4. Okay, again, as I'm solving these, you should be pausing these and trying to do them on your own before you watch what I'm doing. When you actually try something, that's how you learn to do it. All right, get a variable by itself, or on one side. So we're going to subtract 4x. 5x minus 4x is 1x or x, right? You can write that invisible 1 in there, that's okay. Plus 8. Those will subtract out, don't forget that sign. Variables on the left, constant goes on the right. So I'm going to add negative 8 to both sides because this is positive 8, and it's going to help with my integer work over here. So I'm left with 1x or x. Those add out. Negative 4 plus negative 8 is negative 12. And this one, because it was already x, you didn't have to divide. Even if there's that 1, you don't divide by 1 because it's not doing anything. Next one, number 6. 3 times x plus 4 equals 5x minus 2. Again, pause the video, try this on your own before you watch how I do it. Number outside parentheses with no sign in between means we need to multiply, so we're going to distribute the 3. 3 times x is 3x. 3 times 4 is 12. Again, make sure you're multiplying, not adding. Keep this side alone. Get your x's on the same side. Subtract 3x, or x is positive. This means 12 equals 2x minus 2. Because we put the variable over on the right, constant gets to go on the left. Right? It's kind of just trying to separate out numbers and terms that should not be together. Divide both sides by 2. 14 divided by 2 is 7. So 7 equals x, or x equals 7. All right, 2 more. Number 7. 4x minus 18 equals 2x plus 34. Okay, get the variable on the same side. We're going to subtract 2x. 2x minus 18 equals 34. Variable's over on the left. Constant gets to go to the right, so we're going to add 18. 52 divide by 2. X is going to equal, well, I know 2 goes into 50 25 times. 2 goes in here once, so this is going to be x equals 26. All right. Last question on this one. Number 8. Oh, first one I actually started numbering for you. Negative 4 times 2x minus 3 equals 4x minus 2. Okay, number outside parentheses, we're going to distribute. So this becomes negative 8x. Negative times negative is a positive, so that's plus 12. Since this is negative, we want to add it to this side to make it positive, so we're going to add 8x to both sides. 12 equals 12x minus 2. Constant has to go over on the left, so we're going to add 2. 12 plus 2 is 14 equals, or 12x, because those add out. Divide by what's in front of x, so we're going to divide by 12, so x equals, that we can reduce. 2 goes into 14 7 times, 2 goes into 6 times, so it's either 7 6, or if you made that a mixed number, it's 1 and 1 6. So that is level 3 equations. There we go.